advocacy will go on. I will put that a long time, and we are here. And I strongly believe that maybe other people are not shining because we are there. And when we leave the scene, they will step in and will even do much better than us. So advocacy is easy, but people create the impression in this country that governing is hard. You know, they usually say, that is the same thing, man. When they get there, they will do the same
thing. But don't you think you would have been a very good kingmaker provided you have given yourself that leverage to actually, since you can infiltrate every system, every political, corners. Don't you think you have become a very good kingmaker in Liberia? Rather than just choosing to be president?
I probably could have been if I found the kings. But I found no king. Because a lot of people in this country are establishment politicians. They don't rock the boat. Me, I'm a critic. I'm a critic. I'm very radical. In fact, I've heard many people say, that man, you want a business hard. When they say your business hard, it means you don't want to bend things, right? So, and people like to take the easy route. The easy route is to do things the way people have been doing it always. Don't rock the boat. Sometimes they say, oh, the country, everybody's small, everybody knows each other, everybody related. So, you don't want to take hard action. That is laziness. That's weakness, of leadership. Because you see, you can have one child and still discipline that child for the child to be good. So when people say, oh, we are all the same, we are one people, we've been doing the thing this way. Young people coming from America or other places, you talk to them sometimes. I talk to young people. Sometimes they have difficulty in some of the ministries when they go to work. Oh, that new thing you're bringing, the way we've been doing it, we've been working at it like that. Don't bring that your American idea. Don't bring that your British idea. So many here young people almost like being treated in a discriminatory way. They learn something they want to implement what they learn, and people tell them, no, that they want to be working here for years. So you got people like, so people don't see, people think that when you take the right action and people are affected, it means you are hitting them or you are only acting in the interest of the country. And for me, I have two C's, my conscience and my country, that I'm loyal to fearlessly. I don't care who you are, So people don't have the idea they consider to be radical. They say that man here too high. When they say your head too high, that means the way they want you to do things, the easy way everybody been doing it, you want to do it different way.
Councillor, they write all about you in today's newspaper, the Front Page Africa, says that they broom you whole. You cut across the issue that had to do with Nima County, what you call it, Bon County, and that of Monterey County.
Not true.
You scored your vote. Practically, especially Nima, where you have you're using an axe that will cut 90% of something that somebody is expecting, like your kinsman, Prince Johnson, who is very influential in Nima County. You will take portion of those things that he been relying on in time past.
No, because you see, I'm preaching or advocating values that all Liberians really want. When you talk about pregnant women going to hospital free of charge, children under the age of 5, old people 65 years going to government hospital and clinic free of charge. When you talk about every child going to school, all government school free of charge, these are family-related issues. You're taking burden off the family. It has nothing to do with the county. All right. When you say that you'll make government hospital and clinics better than private hospital and clinic, when you say you'll make periodic visits, surprise visits to hospital and clinics, and you fire people when they don't keep those places the way they should be, when you say any clinic that is not good for any Liberian citizens and not good for the president too, people want to hear that the president will raise the value of the health service in this country so that he, like any citizen, can enjoy the same quality of health service. All right? When you talk about growing more rice in this country by using machines so that the price of rice goes down and the rice be available all of the time. even using the military to grow rice. That is a radical proposition that nobody's thinking about. When you say that you put poly station all over the country to keep the roads maintained all during the year, people, whether they're from Nimba, they're from Bon County, they're from Maryland, they like to hear that. But I know because I'm from Nimba, we are in a country, everybody competes somehow. The people in Nimba say, how come Ground Crew can produce president, Bomi can produce president? So what wrong with us in Nimba too? We can produce president. Every time I'm vice president, we had Moses Blah. Before him, we had Dogolie. So there's a big thing you're saying in Nimba now. We know what the tail can. The tail, say when you hold the cow tail, when the cow move again, the tail can slip from your hand. We want the head. Everywhere I went in Nimba, whether it's Bui and Doru, whether it's Pabli, whether it's Buyao, whether it's Belige, whether it's in Lao or Yahweh Mesno or Bay area or Blanc or Yame, and all the other places, the people say, we want to see how when president comes from an area, how it can be. We really want to experience that. You know, so that is the green sentiment in Nimba. And they have someone, a son that they're proud of, that they believe not only does he say the right things, but he has experience. He has been executive branch of government, worked in the office of the president, know how office of the president can work, can operate.
But the people allude to the fact that you got no political experience in terms of governance.
No, that one, I don't know what they call political experience, because you see, governance is in executive. That the executive can draft the budget and give it to the legislature. Maybe if they say I do not have experience in electoral politics, maybe they will say so. But I work in the office of the president where the executive branch of government is run. Actually, a branch of government that really runs the government and the executive branch of government. The legislature makes law and oversees how the laws are implemented. The judiciary interprets law, but the librarian people, that is executive branch of government. And the only place I've been working my whole life, I work in the office of the president. I work as Solicitor General. I transform prosecution. Everywhere I work, I change the place. Before I went there, all the county attorneys were now law school graduates. I left my mark there. For the first time since 1847, I recommended only. I said, look, too many rape and domestic violence cases. Therefore, let us establish a prosecution unit only for sex and domestic violence related cases. The government agreed with me. And I had it in place before I left. When I finished with those things, I didn't need to be justice again. I went to labor ministry and I like liberalization. I strongly believe in liberalization policy. I introduced what they call regulation number 17, increasing the work permit fee from $400 to $1,000. It has brought so much money to Ministry of Labor, but it has also created so much job for Liberians. And the ministers of labor after me are full of praises for me. Even the one to the Charles keeps you always say, my man, Councilor, thank you for your regulation number 17. It's really helping the government. That's positive change.
You often talk about the vice president being your student. I have not had the opportunity to interact with you on this. So you have the I mean, you have said it before me now. Tell me exactly.
I was a teaching assistant early in 1982.
Okay.
The vice president was a student in business college where I taught. And she's very respectful of me. Every time she sees me, prof, she's respectful. Kabila, President Samuka is respectful. Current Senator Joseph Jala, even current Justice Kaba, who replaced Joseph Jala, these were all my students. And I jokingly always tell them when I enter, even when Joseph Jana was there, I say, I have special privilege to enter your chambers. You're telling that a teacher here, he may not decide a case for me. The evidence will decide the case, but I deserve to be respected because teachers are now well paid. But I deserve the respect. Even the current,
Joking at that,
yeah,
they usher you in.
yeah, they always do that. George, what's ever willing? I go to the office, I say, your proper George, who was just retired recently. So, man, I taught so many people. Go. I started teaching at LU 25, going 26. And that time, there were not many university graduates. And we who did better, courses were taken to teach. So I enjoy my time. And that's what makes me a senior in many respects. People who are governing this country, many of them are people that I've taught before, right? So I say that, and that is why I say what I say. But listen, I strongly believe those who think that you should, some people think you should go in the House of Representatives, from there you should go to the Senate before you can come in executive. So you be in those places, then you go become president. You don't even know how a department in the executive branch operates. And that is where the decisions are made that affect our lives. But I worked there. Somebody told me when I was Solicitor General, say, your experience, I know you have not control the budget. I said, okay. Then I was elevated to being a cabinet minister. So I became a cabinet minister and control budget. I drafted budget. I administered it. I administered a group of people. Both as Solicitor General and minister. In fact, sat in the cabinet when I worked with Dr. Saye as executive assistant. I used to be there taking notes, listening to them. But I became minister and was participating in the decision to run the country. My experience that I have, I believe, supersedes the experience of a lot of people. Why? Because as a radical outside government, I was in a position to criticize government. There is nobody in this race right now who has any record of criticism of government or making suggestions to government. And you cannot, you cannot change something that you are not being critical of, that you are not analyzed. With all due respect to all of the people running, nobody matches my record in terms of questioning government, in terms of speaking about governance, in terms of speaking about abuses, and even fighting to correct it. Your Cllr law. Then I drafted the law.
The president.
Yeah, the Cllr law. Before that, I even wrote something for the Media Foundation in Ghana that was taught at the mass communication department, media and the Liberian law. So
I came across it.
Exactly. So I've been involved with making things right outside the government. You don't only change things inside government. Even as I'm sitting, I believe I'm a leader of Liberia. Outside government, you don't have to be in government office before you can change things. I've been changing a lot of things. You remember when I was president of BAR, the Liberian ambassador to Washington, D.C. at that time, under President Weah, his first ambassador to Washington, D.C., was sent there without being confirmed. So it means that the Senate did not give consent. Violation of the law. I raised that issue. They called him back after he had given a letter of credence to President Trump. He came by and the Senate confirmed him. That is leadership. That helped you to run the government. You don't have to be there.
And by the way, I want to take this time to openly thank you and President Weah for being real leader. I remember some 2-3 weeks ago, folks from your camp, the youth composition, they said something very.
It's about month.
And you took to the
On this very day.
Yeah. You said they should apologize, and they did. That was a sign of leadership. And of course, the president too. Lately, when the casket was being told around, he actually went, and to tell his followers that we were not created for this. And I don't like this. I don't want to see it any longer. So I want to take this time to actually, say to you and President Weah, thank you very much for taking those leadership, bro.
Timely action.
Right.
And saying the right things. And when you criticize your own people, it gives you the credential to also criticize other people. Because they'll say, oh, but he doesn't even back his own. That's how I've been. People around me, I don't, because it gives you integrity is doing what is right, irrespective of the circumstances and who is involved. All right? So we've done that. And that is what we want to bring to the the higher table of governance to change the direction of this country. I don't agree with people and say the country is small, everybody related. Everybody related, so you're not chastise your own son. I don't agree with it.
Corruption is one of your bare rock, I would say. You keep talking about it. You want to sweep corruption under here.
Yeah.
Bad governance.
Abuse of office.
Abuse of office and what have you. This has been entrenched in Liberian from time immemorial. How you able to disabuse the man and
That's
the get the price?
It is. Through all history, change has been brought by one person. Jesus Christ. We're dealing with the chief priest. He changed everything. He changed the laws and everything. And we are following the laws today. Muhammad came, changed laws. They think different. And the people following people. Martin Luther King Jr., Jerry Rollins, Magufuli in Tanzania. You see, he's dead, but the vice president succeeded only at Independence Day. No celebration. We have other news to spend our money on. Because Magufuli said that. I strongly believe that leadership is by example, not by saying. And when I become president of this country, I will demystify that office, by being open and transparent. Like I usually say, the law, executive law provides for us to know the president's salary is made by legislature. Today we don't know. So when the president says he reduced the salary by 25%, we say, but how much was it first? We don't know. It should not be secret. Because you see, secrecy can undermine trust in government. Because people can start speculating. So when the president's salary, vice president's salary, chief justice, speaker, president, pro tem, everybody, the bishop who's having a 3 branch of government salary must be on the internet. When you take your phone and say, hey, speaker, salary. Yeah, they represent salary.
No, the last time when I go something like that, I mean, a drop list came before me, the president of the United States,
everything,
Africa, everywhere.
And they know.
Yeah, it's on the internet.
Yeah, but our own is secret.
But why?
So, I don't know. Just to engage in corruption. Because when you know how much they're making, then they can tell you that my salary. Right now, some people are billing 3, 4, 5 billion. When you say, the law you're stealing from the government, you say, you don't know my salary and benefits. That's why they're doing it. In fact, there's somebody big in the job. I saw how somebody posted.
Let me find out from you. If you do succeed in the quest of becoming president of the Republic of Liberia, will you be able to play around the act that has to do with auditing the house?
Yeah. Well, other than
that means you do it.
Oh, I'm a lawyer. Nobody is above the law. There's nothing in the Constitution that puts the house above the law. Don't you know? You remember when I prosecuted Roland County? A Solicitor General? The police can know, some people were suggesting that Ministry of Justice, we need to write the Senate to give permission for Roland County to investigate. I said, show me the law. There's no law that exempts members of the legislature from being subject to the same law that I am subject to. So it's out of ignorance that people think that they have special privilege. I don't know, I will enforce the law. The law, they say official government should be audited, then they say they can't be audited. They will be audited. Maybe the way I will start self. I'm telling you. Because anything like in the interest of Liberian people will not be compromised. And will not have boogeyman anywhere. The exemption given by law is the only one we'll follow. But even the exemption, me, as president, I will subject myself to lifestyle audit that I've suggested in my 12-count prescription for combating corruption, which begins with open salary, knowing everybody's salary, then lifestyle audit. Every 3 months, the lifestyle of the president and all the ministers in government will be audited. So you say, Minister, the auditor of GSC will come and say, you've been in government 2 months, but you just bought a $100,000 Mercedes. Where you got that money from? The GSC auditor will have right and obligation to ask that question. When you can't explain, President Gongloe will fire you. Now when they fire you, go sit there and enjoy that money. It will be turned over to LACC.
Do we look forward to seeing President Gongloe coming from one of the trips from New York, from Dubai, from wherever, to bring the change back and turn it over to the central bank?
I know what I've been doing. You say, our people can say, when you say you can apply Omar, they say, Newman, say, show me Omar, right? In 1992, I let you talk again. Thank God, Francis Capper is still alive. He was finance minister. President Sawyer sent me on a trip to President Momo of Sierra Leone and President Conte of Guinea. I was giving $4,500 for 20 days trip. I spent 10 days because you know when you go to see President, sometimes the schedule you have to wait. Fortunately, I saw the President of Sierra Leone. When I got to Guinea, President Conte had gone to the forest region. After I spent 3 days, the foreign minister said, let me get the message. I will convey it to the president. So the late Ambassador Kofa took me there. And when I saw Foreign Minister Cllr, I spent 10 days and came back home. The next day, I carried the balance of money, $2,250 to Francis Capper, Minister of Finance. He himself was confused. He said, but that money for you that you're paid down, finish taking for the treasury. I said, no, it was for 20 days. But I spent 10 days, so I brought the change back, the balance back. I returned to duty station, not for me. He said, I said, yeah. He said, I've been in government longer than you did when you bring it. And I said, yeah. He gave me receipt. To his credit, the next day, he deposited that money in National Bank and brought me the deposit slip. All right? So, Labor Ministry, in fact, one time, there were other money I used to, but one time I took a trip, internal trip, I was giving money for incidental in a country, right? And I came by the comptroller, he's still living too, Fred Gongati, at Ministry of Labor. I brought by, I think 100 and something change with receipts. He said, Minister, 500 incidental, $500 you brought change by the year. That government money, I'm part of my salary. And I expect you to do the same thing. All right? Then, when I will jump over the other, when I was president of bar, first trip to Nigeria, I was giving $1,000 as per diem. When I got there, the African Bar Convention is going in South Africa now. The African Bar, our African Bar Governing Council meeting, they honored all of the expenses. Except, and then went to Benin City from there to Abuja. When I got to Abuja, I said, I got a case in court. Day after tomorrow, I have to go back. The president, my wife said, but then you're on your own. We can't write the ticket, the thing for your going back. I had round-trip ticket from Lagos. But for me to leave from Abuja to Lagos to sleep that night and come the next day, all that money I spent $187. The food I ate, the hotel I slept in Lagos and everything, I brought back $817 to the bar. They said, oh, you brought back money? I said, yeah, 100 the poor people. Now only $187 spent. The last one, I went to Banjul, I went to Ghana, but let me talk about the big one. Each of those places I went, the post spent the money, I brought the money back. When I went to the ECOWAS Community Code of Justice 20th anniversary in Lomé, just before I left position as president of the bar, the bar gave me $1,000. When I got there, while the bar envelope was still closed, they said, you are good at final office. They gave me $1,200 per day. So I didn't open the bar with no money. I said, because I had even more money. So I came back, I left the closed envelope, I gave it to our finance people at the bar. Oh, the president is spending money. I said, yeah, because I got even bigger money than they want. So that has been my life. I'm not going to change when I become president. They say practice makes perfect. And you can't teach an old or new trick.
But they entrench, malfeasance that have become our DNA in this nation. You think Liberian will actually buy into what you're talking about?
Liberians can change like this. Let me tell you, 3 months of President Salif government, people thought change had come. They were scared. All that right size and all that thing there. There were former clients of mine who were telling me, business people, that, oh, Mr. SG, change has come. I said, what do you mean? I want the finance ministry to pay that time LRA had not been created. I want to pay my tax at finance ministry to finish everything. I get a man $5 for a lunch. Say, don't put me in trouble. I'm not taking it. For the first 3 months, until they started seeing some changes. Let me tell you, there's no secret in government. People can think there's secret there. If you work with me, you are my driver, and I sit in the car as president. And I say, yeah, Mohammed, what you say? I sent my nephew to you for the 200,000 that you promised yesterday. You give it. Oh, the president, I've been giving the 200,000. Oh, yeah, man, we'll be doing business, good business. That's the first 2 days in government, right? The driver will be acting like he's not hearing our conversation. The AD can will be looking different place than not hearing. Those 2 people, when they go on that evening, the driver will say that, yeah, hey, I thought the country would come to change you. That man, Cllr Gongloe, was speaking to God, he the one. Now, hey, yeah. You know, then the wife will say, but eat your food. I feel like eating, I get no appetite. The thing I saw today. But I can tell you something, don't talk to anybody because of my job. Don't you know one man called Mohammed? I don't know whether Indian man or Lebanese man or Chinese man, whoever. You know the man and the president crossed D today, the man just being power 2 days. You think when that man moved from there, he himself a travel. When they somebody gain something and say, if I himself, when he found out the Mohammed man go there, the president say he will give me 10,000 for him. He himself will start taking 2. When you're president and the people watching you, don't think the driver now watching you. Don't think your assistants are now watching you. Don't think as soon as you change, they themselves will change. Fish starts getting right in from the head. So, in order to fight corruption, you yourself have to be corruption free. Can people listen to it? And I believe that Liberian people can follow their leader. You see, Georgia started wearing that Nigerian clothes that they call now pro, everybody wearing it. He didn't pass law that everybody working in government should wear. When Toba came to, he didn't pass law that, oh, no more tailcoat. We wear short sleeve shirt coat to the environment suit. Everybody started wearing it. In fact, when Toba started wearing the white one, everybody started wearing the white one too. They want to be the president. Be correct. President Salid King, she started tying her tie. Hey, some of the women, the hair tie, they used to tie with, look at you, one for that laughing. Everybody started tying her tie.
But interestingly, the Madam Salid that you serve as a Solicitor General Minister, and she said corruption was going to be probably enemy number 1. And at the end of her tenure, it turned to vampire.
Yeah.
What went wrong?
She was honest. I left from there when we were turning vampire at the time. I left from there a long time, so it became vampire after I left. Because I could see it. And, you know, how do you have your family people all in top places, including your sons? Fumba and NS, the other one, deputy governor. You create deputy governor position for your son, so you have to create a second deputy governor position so it doesn't look like. All that one day, increasing government wage bill just to satisfy family. And then, so it was becoming vampire. I could see, I didn't know it had not reached vampire. Maybe by that time it had become eagle because it came from chicken roll and a hawk. Maybe I become a hawk by the time, eagle by the time I left. So, in 12 years now, it became that transformation. It transformed into vampire, sucking him up in blood. Nobody could make it with anymore. It became a monster. So
they tell me after the fast man.
So now, this government to say, okay, that thing you did, President Saleh, is a small monster. 8 months of President Georgia government, he built 8-story building, they call it condominium, and fenced it in. The minister then said, but then, all right, we come to eat. Everybody started, they say, that one that happened under President Saleh, that party, the banquet coming start. So now, Liberia, the government made Liberia the 10th poorest country in the world. That one nobody come in invest there. When you tell your country poor, who want to come invest there? You check or go, you Google search right now on your phone. The 10th poorest country in the world, Liberia. The dirtiest country in Africa, Liberia. because the corruption made that the city do not have enough money, the government do not have enough money to clean the city up. The minute the
one ticket concern before we go to the phone line. One ticket concern. Madam Saye took responsibility of local being bankrupt. She took responsibility. If you come to power because of millions of Liberian people, money that was siphoned. This is not allegedly because she said, I take responsibility. Will you bring her the book?
Well, let me say, I'm running campaign. So I will do what the law requires. Everybody knows that I will stick to the law. That's what I can say, because that was obstruction of justice. All Madam Saye was saying, don't investigate, because you can't investigate the president unless she's impeached. So I take responsibility. I mean, I'll cover it now, standing right in front of my son, Robert Salim. So done. So GSC was, nobody was going there now. That was wrong. And how corruption became a vampire. Because she used to say, oh, the other minister is one of my untouchables. How you can say that? When the person untouchable, and then she used to also say, I will put my hand on chopping board for
Gafon. I remember right at the back of a finance ministry, to one Taisha, she made that statement.
For the other president, I can put my hand on chopping. For the other president, so the other people, you're not putting your hand on chopping board. What are they doing in your government? Why you can't fire them? The people who are untouchable, the ones that are touchable, why are they staying in government? These kind of mixed signals tend to undermine confidence in government, public trust. Nobody will be untouchable in my government. Nobody. I will not put my hand on chopping board for anybody before they cut it. Never. Everybody will be held to the same standard. No, they in the bar. It's easy to govern. All the lawyers telling me, hey, Councilor, while leaving, you see that why they elected my vice president. He won landslide because they say, oh, we want continuity of Councilor Gongloe. Stay in a bar.
Okay.
Good example can leave good feelings behind and leave respect. And for me, I like that respect, good name. The Bible says what? Good name is better than silver and gold.
Okay. Let me hold you at that and now engage the public. You've been following us. The program is ABC Hard Talk, and of course, the councillor, the advocate, now turned politician who won the highest seat in the country, is my guest today on ABC Hard Talk, and my name is Joe Nutrawanda. You can now join us by making sure to just dial this number 0777105 or 0555105 or better still, an alternative number 07765900725 or another alternative. Okay, let's go to the phone line. Let's talk to the first caller. She is on the line. Your name and where you calling her from?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you calling her from?
My name is John B. Moba. I come from district number 7.
Okay, Mr. Moba, you are live.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to my incoming president, because I know that after Georgia had disappointed Liberian people, and I thought it wise to see Councilor Gongloe as the next person in line to serve the country as the president. Because I've been following Councilor Tiawan Gongloe, and I know his track record. Days upon days I choose to follow him because he's one of the best three who do not like corruption. That's why I follow him. The reason I voted against George Weah, President Weah, at the time, I said that George Weah was very innocent. He's going to fight corruption. He's going to make sure that World Economic Forum will be established in Liberia. And George Weah, President Weah, has taken it to the other way. He said to us, corruption, my hand is in corruption, and I love to corrupt. So therefore, even when I talk about establishing corruption, economic Forum in Liberia, my hand will be into the cookie jar. So that's why some of us refuse to go beyond against George Weah and go beyond Councilor Tiawan Gongloe, and we believe we will push the agenda of Councilor Tiawan Gongloe. We're going to win the presidential one magic, because we know who Liberian people are, and Liberian people believe in Councilor Tiawan Saye Gongloe, especially the people of Bokante and the people of Nimakante.
Okay.
Thank you. Don't be mobile. This is my telling.
Okay, Mr. Moba, thank you very much. 077-105-100 and 055-105-100. I'm going to call and then make it interactive. Let's hear from you, Liberian. Whatever you add, I'm following our discussion. With me in studio this afternoon to carry on this Thursday edition of ABC Hard Talk is Honorable the Councillor, Tiawan Gongloe. He's my guest here, and he's talking about his presidency. That corruption will be, whatever you can think about, will be nailed to the coffin, and when he's buried, it will go more than 90 feet under the ground. Let's go out to the phone lines and talk to another caller. Yeah, your name, where are you calling us from? Yeah, let's hear you quickly, sir.
Hello.
Thank you. Let's take the last call because the time is fast spent. Let's see who this caller is. Let's take this one. Hello. Good evening, sir. Okay, Prince, quickly. Let's hear you. Okay. Okay. Thank you too for your call. I make it the whole day because the time is fast and we got less than 3 minutes to go. So, Councillor,
let me deal with that part.
Yeah, just conclude on that. I can't take no more calls.
Yeah, he doesn't even understand. I left government 2010 November, but I criticized. I issued 13-page press release and criticized the government even before I resigned. And then when I resigned, I started criticizing President Saye from 2011 all through, even before our tenure ended. So he didn't listen. And I was criticizing Togo government as a student at the University of Liberia. I was part of the editorial staff of the university spokesman. I was co-chairman intellectual discourse. So I've been criticized. Maybe that time you were not born. Now, he didn't. I suffer under Taylor for criticizing Taylor. How come it will be only Georgia that I will criticize?
Yeah, the writer today talk about it that you were incarcerated. You were
so maybe he's not reading all that. Then I criticize President Saye all through. I am the only candidate in the race who has criticized other presidents besides Georgia. The other candidates, the people you need, they can only criticize Georgia. Even as other government, they don't even go beyond Georgia to criticize, which I don't think is fair to only criticize Georgia. You must have credential for criticizing other government. So he made that statement out of ignorance. He didn't know my record. So I'm sure some people will tell him, man, I think you said about council is not fair. You should not make me that I hate CDC. I was lawyer for Moba Molu. I called Moba Molu already came to the entire show and gave people, he said, I respect the man. I can't, Jefferson Koji, all the top people that are enjoying the CDC government that he is not enjoying, where people are used to free from jail for common, free of charge. That will make me different. And that will make me a uniter. The other people give their opinions. In order to succeed in the leadership of this country, you have to be a reconciler and a uniter. You cannot succeed. That's part of the thing that broom represents. One broom cannot sweep successfully and easily broken. Together, it's difficult to break. So I will unite this country, and with the united force of this country, we will clean corruption from government. And what's the evidence? I'm going to run the country to be known. I want to Tucson. I'm sure you are not sleeping in Tucson. You are down man from Nimba. When you get to Tucson, you get scared.
No, I slept there before.
Maybe you slept there before. Maybe you slept there, but you're not running politics. So you went there as a
journalist.
I slept there. I went there saying I want power. And I was open on top sedition. I slept there. Next morning I went to open hall and sat with the people in all. I slept there. And they were very, very happy that I slept there. They said, oh, you're from Nimba, you're a man, then you came here, you slept with all, you trust us. I said, yes, we will have to reconcile and unite the country. I'm called Pulion in Granjada, Savior. That's the only place in the whole world where I've been given 3 white sheep, 3 white rooster, they got me on the same day. And guess what? The other day I was in Buto. I didn't know they were going to gun me, so I wore the Granjada gown. And that morning, the people of Nimba got me in Buto too. So they said, take out the gun so we can put the other gun. I said, you put it there. When they put it there, I said, you know what's happening now? I'm a symbol of reconciliation and unity. Nimba put gun on me and the Granjada gun on there. I'm standing here with Nimba gun and Granjada gun on me. That God's work. So I was united and reconciling the country. I slept in Zozwale, go up home to make the poor feel. I slept in Western home, Pine Star. I don't think you know Pine Star. I've been to Jasino home twice. Because you know, in the country, when you big man, you die, the people in your village can look at orphans. So I want to live the spirit. I am uniting the country. Okay. Now I'm united the political. I've gone to the political party. Georgia, I can't go to the party I've got or ANC I've got. I can go. I've shown it. I'm not saying I can. I just want to CDC I've got, the party I've got, ANC I've got. I want to all the other I've got. I will do it more and more again. In fact, yesterday I called Vice President Barker. I called Coleman. I said this thing that George Weah did. That when we get in trouble, we run to Sierra Leone, they will say, oh, Bagel, you better let all condemn it together. And here, then here, maybe they'll do it. But I called them on my telephone. Anything I called them, I said, let's do it together. So I talked to them.
Okay.
I'm a uniter, I'm a reconciler, I'm a peacemaker, and I'm the only peacemaker in this.
Thank you for your time in our studio. That's the voice.